my name is Noor. I'll be taking part to explain about meanings and definition of istihab. For the first one, we will explain istihab in language. So istihab comes from the word subha, which means to join or al-musahaba, so accompanying. Therefore, istihab in terms of language means together, or always in line, or all together in maintaining friendship. For the second one, istihab in terms, we have 4 parts. For the first one, set of existing law, and it is still applied to this day because there is no evidence to change it. Second one, set the law that apply today based on the law of the past, unless there is evidence or text can change it. Number 3, we assume the original law or continuity should is as long there is no proposition to violate it. And number 4, we have a decision is made by mujtahid, scholar in matter under study, after they do not find evidence that can change it. In that context, scholars maintain their law based on their existing law. So, we will understand that istihab is to agree on something until there is a text or there is evidence to change that from positive to negative or from negative to positive. So for an example, if a person left his house for a work and does not come back, nothing is known for his life and deeds. It will be decided on the basis of the principle of istihab that he is alive until an evidence for his deeds is produced. That's it.
My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Muhammad Nazari. My metric number is A20B2307. So previously we have been introduced about the meaning of istishab for the overall, but I will explain a little bit more further about the varieties of istishab. So actually there are many varieties of istishab, but I will explain one of it, which is called istishab al-adam al-as. So for the meaning, we can see here, istishab al-adam is called a factor or rule which has not existed in the past is presumed to be non-existent until the contrary is approved. So the contrary is approved here, we can call it in easy word, is called evidence of Shari. So in order to understand a little bit further about what is istishab al-adam is about, we can understand it by the example that I have provided, which is fasting and children. For the first one, which is fasting, as we all know that we are Muslim and compulsory to fasting in the Ramadan but not in the other month. But we are also encouraged to fasting during Rajab or Shawwal. But why we are not compulsory to do fasting during Rajab and Shawwal? Because there is no single nas or evidence that state that we are compulsory to do so. For the second one, which is children, a child is presumed to be a child until there is a major change in themselves. The major change in themselves in Islam is called akil baligh. I think that's a little bit example will help us in understanding the overall meaning of the istishab al-adam.
Assalamualaikum, my name Nur Atira binti Muhammad Johar, metric number A20A1690. Number 2, presumption of original present al-wujud al-asli. The variety of istishab take for granted present or existence of that, which is indicated by the law or reason. For example, when A is known to be adapted to B, A is presumed such until it is proved that he has paid the debt or was acquitted of it. Provided that B's loan to A is proven in the first place as a fact, this is sufficient to give rise to the presumption of it, continuity, and B need not prove the continuity of the loan in question every day of the month. Similarly, under the presumption of original presence, the purchaser is presumed liable to pay the purchase price by virtue of the presence of the contract of sale until it is proved that he has paid it. By the same token, a husband is liable to pay his wife the dowry or mahar by virtue of the existence of a valid marriage contract. In all these instances, istishab presumes the presence of a liable or a right until an indication to the contrary is found. The ulama are in agreement on the validity of this type of istishab, which must prevail until the contrary is proved.
Number 3, Istihad al-Hukum. It is an istihad which presumes the continuity of the general rule and principle of the law. Istihad therefore grant the continuity validity of the provision of Sharia in regard to permissibility and prohibition halal and haram. The permissive and prohibited are presumed to continuity until the contrary is proved. When there is a ruling in the law with the prohibitory or permissive, it will be presumed to continuity until the contrary is proved. Example, food and beverage priority agreement MLM. Other example, the law on passenger seatbelt, the law on speed limit, the law on wearing helmet within campus, and prohibition on smoking on campus. But when there is not such rule available, result will be had to the principle of ibahah. Example, the hukum to eat belacan, the hukum to eat cigarettes, or fast and frozen food manufactured by non-Muslim. Blood transfusion, organ donation, court procedure, the establishment of Islamic banking product. Hence, when the law is silent on a matter and is not proportional to reason, it will be presumed to be permissible. This is based on the principle that Allah has subjects to earth and is reserved to the wealth of man. Therefore, all object, legal acts, contract and exchange of goods and service which be beneficial of human to be lawful on the ground of permissibility of ibahah. Everything that is bad and harmful is prohibited.
My name is Nur Alia binti Amran and my matrix number are A20A1611. So today I will be presenting about subtopic of istishab, which is istishab al-was. Istishab al-was is a continuity of attributes such as presuming clean water, for example the purity being an attribute, to remain so until the contrary is established to be the case, which is through a change in its color or taste. So similarly, for a case when a person makes an ablution to perform the salah, the attribute of ritual purity or tahara is presumed to continue until it is vitiated. A mere doubt that it might have been vitiated is not sufficient enough to nullify tahara. All of the juries are in agreement on the validity in principle of the first three types of istishab, although they have differed in their detailed implementation, as we shall presently discuss. As for the fourth type of istishab, which relates to the attributes, whether new or well established, it is a subject on which the juries have disagreed.
Application of istihab in response to contemporary issue in Muamalat Islam. Istihab is a method of applying the formulation of the law applicable in the field of economy. The principle that basically every person is free from any kind of liabilities in debit. Therefore, if a debitor begs to repay debit, the person who set in entitled to reject it until that the creditor is able to prove in count. There is a hadith. The burden of proof is one the suer and swearing the art is on the one suer. Riwayat Baihaqi. Based on the accept istihab, a defendant in a strong position for the plaintiff's count not prove his claim. He is free for lawsuit. This is because the original law every person has dependence for rest.